So we polled the AOC team, and we found out some of our favorites that we want to share with you now. And mine is a roasted mushroom soup, which sounds like it takes a lot of time, but it's really simple because you're roasting the mushrooms in the oven while on the stovetop you're sautéing your onion and garlic and, adding whatever herbs you want to add with some stock and some wine. And then when the mushrooms are done roasting, you combine that in a blender with the liquid and the aromatics that you cooked on the stovetop, blend it until it's silky smooth, and it has such a wonderful, rich flavor as if you slaved over the oven for hours.
That sounds so delicious.
Well, it is because there are so many different varieties you can do. And sometimes, if I want, I'll just soak some porcini mushroom in a small quantity because it'll add a lot of flavor when I then blend it with the rest of the ingredients. And you can use whatever herbs you like. I mean, I really like thyme with mushrooms, or sage is really good and seasonal this time of year. So there are a lot of different ways to make it creative.
Talking about soaking mushrooms, I love to work with wild rice, and you do soak the rice overnight. So you wash it really well, you select the quantity that you need for your dish, and then you cover it with water about an inch and let it sit in a bowl overnight. It lets the rice soak in the water and almost like pre-cooking it. It takes only 10 minutes the next morning when you want to finish your dish. So the rice will open up. You can tell that it starts to kind of floret, build these little florets at the end, show some white, even though wild rice is naturally dark brown or black. And then the cooking time, again, is just a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes at the most. And you can add nutritional yeast, and that makes it kind of this hearty, nutty, cheesy, amazing dish already, even if you did nothing else to it. Nutritional yeast has a salt to it, so it's really, that's it. You can, of course, add some spices to it if you want to. You can cut in a shallot. You can cut in some dates or add some nuts. You can serve it cold, hot. You can even then add cinnamon and make it kind of a sweeter variety of a meal that you bring. But it's such a good base. And even though wild rice is not inexpensive, it goes a long way. You don't need that much rice to feed, a dozen people or so as a side dish. Beautiful.
And another thing that goes a long way is chili. I mean, that's always a popular potluck dish because it's so simple to make, and you can do a lot of different varieties depending on what people like. You can use black beans, white beans, pinto beans, kidney beans. You can do it with a tomato base. You can do it with all kinds of bell peppers, and you can do it in your slow cooker. So it basically, you just put all of your ingredients in, turn it on, and walk away for a handful of hours. But if you want to save some time, you can also use canned beans. Just make sure you get the kind that are in a BPA-free can.